and Antony Gough. Good timing. Welcome.
Thank you very much, everybody. My biggest worry is that we've got rates increases every year that are 3 or 4 times the current run of inflation. So over the last 10 years, you've done 100% rates increase. My rents and my bars do not go up 100% in 10 years. They go up 2.5% every year. I implore you to actually seriously look to your budget and say, if you want to do more than 2 inflation, 2.2 at the moment, then you need to take something off your budget. There's no point in just keep saying, oh, nice to have, let's put another hump along Dean's Avenue for an extraordinary amount of money and put it only on one side of the road. That is just loopy. So I just say that in the real world, we have to look at our budget hard. We can't just say, oh, we'll just put another 8% onto my rents. It doesn't work like that in the real world. And I think people here don't understand that. So that's my biggest worry, is that actually you're killing our businesses. You can't, if we did 100% increase on our food and beverage, nobody would buy it. So something's squeezing in the middle. The people who you're squeezing are actually the businesses. And businesses, although they don't vote in the centre city, they do vote in their homes, and they will vote. And those people who want to put their hand up and say, hey, let's do another 8.2% increase, I'm sorry, you'll find they'll vote against you. So please, think seriously about reducing your increase in rates. There are a couple of other things that I wanted to briefly talk about. I heard the previous gentleman saying, I implore you to, force cars out of the town. I'm sorry, I'm 76 years of age. I'm not going to ride a bicycle. There are people like me who actually contribute enormously to the city, and if the assumption that we're all going to ride bikes is totally loopy. I'm sorry, 95% of people actually drive cars in the centre city. We've actually got a high water table here, unlike Paris and unlike London. So to go underground, it actually costs a huge amount of money because you're in water. I was going to put an underground car park, quickly lost interest when I found out what the water table was at the terrace. So it's a reality check. I know, lovely to have, a massive underground network like London with its 10 million people, in Paris. We don't have that population base. I noticed that we seem to have an awful lot of unusual traffic light situations where there's a red arrow to stop cars turning left or right on most intersections these days that are going in, regardless of whether there's a cycleway or pedestrians. There's a button there for them, and often there's on the corner of Hereford Street and Cambridge Terrace, there's a don't turn left arrow. Everyone waits. There's no cyclists coming through. There's no pedestrians. If they are, I don't have a problem with the red arrow, but I do have a problem with it just automatically turning there. Mm-hmm. And it's either incompetence or it's a deliberate effort by somebody in council to actually, is it deliberate? Yeah. So, that needs to be spoken to, the council officers who are doing that as a deliberate effort. There's also some poorly executed road upgrades. St Asaph Street's a classic example. You've killed the businesses there. Thank you very much. That helped me a lot at the terrace, but it didn't help those businesses. And you've got things like Park Terrace used to be dual way both ways. And what have you done? You put a cycle lane down one side. Gee, there's a huge big wide riverbank on the side. You could have put it there, but no, we'll cut a lane out, and then where we don't cut it out, we'll paint white lines to make sure we don't can't have car parking along there. No, that is just loopy. That's nutty. And I'm sorry, you've got some nutty people in your traffic planning. You've got people like Manchester Street, which is called an avenue. No, it's a bus lane, and don't dare go down there because it's horrible. You're stopping all the time. Gloucester Street, you just put some new temporary installation there. I know that'll be permanent. And again, you've destroyed Gloucester Street. And, I know you didn't want to put any car parks for real people like me along Gloucester Street for the new court theatre or the other facilities there. But actually, there are people like me that aren't riding a bike and are unlikely to take a bus, and that will actually dissuade us from going to those fabulous facilities.
Your time is up. So
Lovely.
5
I will leave
minutes
you to it.
of a big bleat to us, and we heard what you're saying. Thank you. Can we get a response to him about the red arrows? It would be helpful. Thank you. What the rationale is, because pardon?
It's already being worked on.
Thank you. So that's good news, Anthony. The red arrows are being worked on by transport. So there you go.
Thank you very much.